Sega is a shadow of its former self. Its star developers are scattered to the four winds while treasured series hang crack and dry from so much tireless, often unsympathetic milking. The company is perhaps the greatest casualty in the collapse of the arcade scene, once the fertile breeding ground for its most daring ideas and brightest designers. Nevertheless, Sega still has one jewel to its name, its fans. Sega's devotees are loyal and tenacious, and many are also talented and industrious. Nor is this fact more evident than in this remaster of Sonic CD, a lavish widescreen production that puts almost every other Japanese publisher who is remastering yesteryear's classics from Treasure to Nintendo to shame with its generosity. It was in large part made by a fan. I wanted to play Sonic CD so badly when it was released, but back in 1993, I wasn't born yet. So, it wasn't until I got the mobile version I finally got to beat Sonic CD and enter into that elitist group of Sonic the Hedgehog snobs who praise the game and look down on the millions of people who never got to enjoy it. Because cool things are cooler when you can lord it over people. Well, bad news for a-holes, but good news for Sonic fans. Sonic CD is on mobile and other collections lovingly recrafted, and you can all enjoy the hell out of it. In 2009, after a number of somewhat disappointing iOS ports of classic Sega titles, the publisher put out a call to fans asking which game the community might like to see re-released next. Australian coder Christian Whitehead responded not with a wish list but rather with a YouTube video showing a proof of concept port of the classic Mega CD title Sonic CD, created with his own retro engine development kit. The demo differed from the usual type of emulation seen on the jailbroken market, as the screen had been carefully scaled to fit an iPod Touch. While the game itself ran at 60 FPS at the time, few emulated versions of the game ran at much more than 20. Whitehead, a tremendous fan of Sonic CD, had made a complete SDK specifically for porting the game, within the trust that his work might rouse Sega to revisit what is broadly respected as the strongest title within the Mega CD catalog. In any case, after a couple of weeks, Whitehead's site was taken offline, as was the YouTube video he released to appear of his work. It appeared as in spite of the fact that Sega's legal counselors had issued a cease and desist and requested his work to be rejected. 2 years later, and an official Sonic CD release surfaces bearing Whitehead's name. Sega had done what few multinational companies of its size, age, and resultant inflexibility could have: made a fan a creative asset. Whitehead's engine is striking for its execution, which renders the Mega CD original with easy precision. The window onto the activity has been extended for widescreen TVs instead of extended, guaranteeing that the game feels as in spite of the fact that it was planned for Xbox Live Arcade instead of awkwardly pulled separated to fill it. Both the initial Japanese and American soundtracks are included. The last mentioned replaced the Japanese original on US launch, much to the shock of numerous fans, and the run for alternatives runs profound and wide, but Whitehead's model work expands in courage than simple aesthetic. The RSDK also gives its designers the chance to tweak and refine levels as well as the underlying codes. As such, the sometimes shoddy collision detection of the original has been fixed, while the control scheme of the Mega Drive Sonic 2 replaces the less precise Mega CD game, although of course you have the option to switch between both. The new menu screens use the same fonts and assets as the original, and at every turn, this feels like the most sympathetic and consensuous re-release of a 27-year-old title yet seen on the digital platforms, a new benchmark for others to aim for. That the game is being sold at 400 Microsoft points, a price point long abandoned in Xbox Live Arcade marketplace, is further evidence of Sega leading the way with this release in terms of offering more for less. In spite of its reputation as one of the more grounded entries within the Sonic series, Sonic CD is less well known due to the commercial disappointment of its host console. It may share resources and a fundamental preface with other Sonic titles, Save Amy and Free the Planet from Dr. Eggman's control, but in numerous ways, Sonic CD is atypical. Following the release of the first game in the series, lead programmer Yuji Naka moved to America to work on Sonic the Hedgehog 2 with key members of Sonic team. Meanwhile, in Japan, Sonic creator Naoto Oshima began work on what would become Sonic CD, a game that rapidly found its own unique identity. Sonic CD plays like its Genesis-era counterparts, but what made the game so unique and cool was the time travel gimmick. In each level, there are multiple gates you can pass that will allow you to travel forwards or backwards in time. Utilizing the Back to the Future method of time travel, go fast. Depending on when in time the levels change with different layouts and enemies, there are basically 3 levels in one for every act in the game, and playing right can change the ending of the game. A novel concept for a Sonic game in the early 90s. It's an interesting system, but triggering the leap back in time can be frustrating, as many later stages make building up the Back to the Future style required speed difficult. Combine this with some of the cruelest level design in the series, which often fires you from springs direct into off-screen ceiling-mounted spikes, and mining the game for its richest rewards can be unnecessarily aspirating. The unique levels are largely the reason Sonic CD stands out after all these years. Well, that and the cool way that the game changes perspective that blew my mind away in the days before I knew what Sonic looked like from above. The game looks great in HD and the colors are vibrant, accenting the changes in time periods. The controls are still tight in most places and annoyingly less tight in the special stages. Finish a stage with more than 50 rings in your possession and you can jump through a giant ring to enter a 3D ring collecting special stage that plays out a little like a single player Super Mario Kart and very similar to Sonic Mania special stages. And hey! This game introduced Amy Rose. She is a Sonic fangirl and we will continue to see her in future Sonic games. And Metal Sonic, oh boy! When I first saw Metal Sonic, I was stunned because he looked so cool and menacing. A time attack mode and leaderboards bring Sonic into this generation and offer a humbling experience to those of us who thought we were fast. Extras and bonuses like getting the option to switch between the Japanese or US soundtracks add to the package, but cooler than all of that is the inclusion of Tails in Sonic CD. After beating the game, you unlock Sonic's two-tailed fox friend and can run and fly through the game again as him. There is no doubt that this is the definitive version of a little-known, much-loved title. Sega's humility in collaborating with Whitehead and artistry in bringing the game's strength to the fore is a striking achievement in 2011. For that reason, for the first time in a long time, Sega deserves its richest asset, and for the first time in a long time, those fans deserve Sega. Now kindly put these remasters on the consoles, please.